Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Expeditions Conquistador. Alright, let's go ahead and head towards Tenochtitlan. See what interesting things we can find there. And let's go for the herbs. Because I can. Alright, now we'll go to the town. Good. Kind of glad that we can get there in one day. Alright. What? Well, first of all, is there anything in the... Nope. Alright, let's head to the palace here. Tenochtitlan. Long before you reach the settlement, you notice that the jungle is unusually silent. The natives greet you warily, eyeing your saddlebags. Many of the townsfolk look diseased, their skin covered in spots that look suspiciously like smallpox to you. The chieftain, Itzcuantli, is surprisingly difficult to locate. His wife fetches him from the depths of a home which looks marginally less dismal than the others. He is not an old man, but his back is bent and his skin is gray and sickly. It hangs in dark folds beneath his eyes.
The children of the sun have returned. You brought this deadly curse upon us. Now you have come to finish the job?
We had no hand in what befell you.
He coughs violently. Our valley has been cursed ever since your kind first set foot here. A shaman believes this is a punishment of Mictec-Cacuitlau, the goddess of death and lady of the underworld. But our shaman is a silly old wench who ascribes to the gods what men have wrought.
Why do you deserve punishment by the gods?
We don't!
He briefly wrestles with another coughing fit.
My father, that old fool, gravely offended... what's her name? By attempting a forbidden ritual to bring his murdered daughter back from the dead. Then the pale men came to our settlement, and my father died shortly thereafter.
Is there anything I can do to help? His voice is thick with dismissive amusement.
Leave! Your people brought this suffering upon us. We have no need for you.
I want to help. If I can, just tell me how. He grumbles, defeated.
Well, if you can spare some food for my people, we would gladly pay you for it.
Well, I've got enough food. I guess I go over here. Tenochtitlan Market. Although a lot of space has been afforded it, Tenochtitlan's market is not impressive. A few scattered townsfolk, probably from some of the outlying farms, preside over largely empty baskets. Purchase items. Other than your basic resources, the selection of goods in Tenochtitlan's market is pretty meager. 2 exhausted young women who look like they haven't eaten in days are selling torches, and a sick old man, aided by his son, has a few spike traps for sale. Trade with the villagers. Wow, very low supply of food. Alright. We've got a low supply of valuables. This merchant has expensive prices. Get all of your, What about medicine? They actually have a high supply of medicine? It cost me 110 medicine. I'd much rather do that. Now, food. Let's grab some, Let's get them to a normal supply? Yeah, that's fine. 117 rations. I'll take that. The villagers are so desperate for food, you almost have to fight them off. Okay. Well, I traded. Nothing noticeable has changed in Tenochtitlan. It's still the monument to misery and despair that you remember from your last visit. The chieftain is still alive, but he still needs his wife to fetch him for you. Okay. I think there is something that'll come up later that we can do with the town, but I'm not sure. But let's go visit these Aztec farms since they're on the way. Nope. I'm gonna get off the road. How about right there? There we go. You go ahead and hunt. That's fine. Let's camp. Gain 10 meat. Okay. Gained a cannonball, too. Aztec Farms. A fairly large area along the northbound road from Tenochtitlan has been cultivated into farmland. It doesn't look particularly fertile, but apparently it yields enough to cover most of the city's consumption. The farmers here look tired and weary, yet they turn out to be friendly enough when approached, and some of them offer to trade their surplus food for medicine or other valuables if you need it. Okay. They've got a very low supply of valuables. They've got a low supply of medicine. Well, I suppose we could get all of their food for 119 medicine. I don't want to lose that much. Actually, you know what? This merchant has preposterous prices. Oh, let's not do that then. Wait, this resource is in very high... Oh, yeah, it is in very high demand. Never mind. I get all 200 valuables for 4 equipment. That seems worthwhile. I'll do that. We'll leave. And there's a box down here. Let's walk over their fields. 7 wood. It's not too shabby. Alright, let's head to Tenochtitlan, finally. Actually, pretty sure it is Tenochtitlan. Injured horse! Ah, damn it, I got 20 moves left. You hear a small commotion from the back of your caravan. Shortly, Pedro Alvarado rides up to you. Excuse me, Capitan Dragon. Adriana's horse has stepped into a hole and injured its leg. It's possible it will be able to continue without being slowed down too much, but it is safer if we take time to fix the horse's leg. We don't want to risk it giving out on Adriana. Very well. We will stop for however long it takes to fix the horse. You order everyone to stop so Alvarado can treat Adriana's horse. It takes several hours, but eventually the horse's leg is properly set and treated, and you set out again. And, yep, halved my movement. Oh, crap. Damn it. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, well. I've got very high guard difficulty, unfortunately. Julio, you cannot tinker cannonballs anymore, huh? Back to caltrop traps, then. Gain 3 medicine, 10 meat. Alrighty, let's continue on to Tenochtitlan. That is not the way I think I would have chosen game, but okay. Yeah, there we go. Tenochtitlan. Ooh, that's a rather nice image there. On an island in a large lake at the bottom of a valley, you reach Tenochtitlan. From a distance, you can already tell that the city is incredibly rich, with a beautiful temple district the pyramids of which rise proudly above the canopy of the surrounding forests. Let's enter the city. On your way towards the long earth causeways that lead across the lake to the island, you are intercepted by a large contingent of warriors led by heavily armed soldiers in peculiar eagle costumes. They approach you respectfully, but with some apprehension. Maintaining a safe distance, barely close enough to communicate without shouting, the most extravagantly decorated eagle warrior addresses you. Children of the sun, we welcome you to Tenochtitlan. Our great Tlatoani, Moctezuma, Zokiyotzin, invites you to his palace. Your interpreter leaves the title Tlatoani in the translation, but quickly adds that it refers to the emperor. Proceed into the city. The greeting party divides in two to allow you passage, and forms up behind you as an escort, following you across the causeway into the city. Up close, the city of Tenochtitlan almost defies description. It's as large as any European city you've ever visited, easily rivaling Seville or Cordoba for size. Its towering temples and palaces are richly decorated in blue and red, and its streets are filled with people who scatter before you and stare as you pass. Your troops are visibly struck with awe by the size and sophistication of the city. You pass through an enormous market bustling with activity, probably twice as large as the market of Seville. The members of your expedition are struggling to take it all in, gaping at the crowds, the buildings, the sheer enormity of it all. Boom! Something just appeared there. Meanwhile, your feathered escorts are clearing a path towards the largest and most beautiful of all the palaces, all the while making sure none of your people strays from the path. Okay, so, that appears to be the palace right there. Alrighty, I guess we'll go. Pay it a visit. Tenochtitlan Palace. The Palace of Tenochtitlan is really only one of several palaces in the city, but is distinguished by being the grandest and, not coincidentally, the one currently in use by as the residents of the city's Tlatoani, Moctezuma Xoyotl the Younger. Let's meet with him. You are led through the palace to a large and beautiful garden where Moctezuma himself seems to be conducting some administrative business with a handful of nobles. You are respectfully instructed to wait at the entrance to the heavily secured garden until the Tlatoani is ready to see you. Now, that is an impressive hat there. The great Moctezuma appears to you to be about 40 years old, of a healthy height and build, and light-skinned for an Aztec. His hair is short, and his beard is... a beard? I guess it's that, or is that the shadow? I don't know. And his beard is well trimmed and thin. He carries himself with the air one would expect of a great ruler, and yet he greets you in a respectful and genial manner. Honored guests, you are in the presence of Moctezuma, Tlatoani of the Aztec Empire. Tell me, by what name would you be known? Great Moctezuma, my name is AuldDragon, and these are my warriors. The Emperor receives your name with a dignified nod. You are not the first children of the sun who have come to my lands, but you are the first of your kind to enter Tenochtitlan. As such, you shall be a guest of honor in my palace for as long as you desire. At this point, Julio Barreto leans in and whispers in your ear, I believe it would be beneficial for diplomatic relations if we offered the Emperor a gift of some kind. I could offer 50 medicine. I could offer some servants as slaves. No. Let's offer 50 medicine. Gained 100 valuables, 5 equipment, 25 experience points. 25 experience points, definitely the best part. You order your servants to bring forth a lockbox of treasures from your caravan and present it to Moctezuma as a gift. Moctezuma looks over the spoils with a pleased expression, and in turn gets his servants to bring out a set of finely crafted weapons from his personal collection. The Aztec Emperor himself further presents you with a gold disc and a silver disc that you recognize as the calendar of the Aztecs. When the formalities are dispensed with, you and your people are led from the throne room to an adjacent area where you're met by a tall, strong man in his 30s, who you recognize from your audience with Moctezuma. Venerable guests, I am privileged to meet you. My name is Quapiatl, and I am that to Moctezuma. Tlaco... I'm not going to try that anymore. Your interpreter hesitates for a moment, desperately grasping for a good translation of that word. Quapiatl seems to pick up on it as he pauses halfway through his introduction and watches the translator with a wry smile. Your interpreter eventually settles on High General, and Quapiatl carries on. Our great Tlatoani has appointed me to maintain diplomatic and strategic relations with you and your people. If there is anything more you desire from us, tell me, and we will discuss it. Perhaps there is something we can do for you in our position as outsiders, a show of goodwill towards your great empire. Quapiatl hesitates. It is not in the habit of this empire to ask others to solve our problems. Nevertheless... His eyes narrow, but a knowing smile plays at the corner of his lips. How do you expect to be compensated for your aid? I only wish to establish a good working relationship. And open-minded followers have gained morale. He raises an eyebrow in trade. He regards you in the manner with which one would look upon some absurd and unfamiliar fairy tale beast. You mean our horses? There is one matter where we might benefit from the assistance of, as you say, outsiders. Addressing this would certainly establish you as a worthwhile ally to us, which will lead to other ways in which you may cement the alliance between our peoples. What can I do to aid our Aztec allies? To the west lies an Aztec settlement called Conquistador. They have neglected to send regular shipments of food to Tenochtitlan. The people of Tenochtitlan depend on these shipments from the outlying farming communities to survive. Whatever, is part of the heart of our empire, and if we move against them militarily, it could have undesirable political repercussions. I will look into the matter. He nods sternly. I believe you will find that the matter is straightforward. Return to me when everything is resolved. Well, we already know it's not straightforward. Alright, we've got goal started. Tenochtitlan's tribute. Quapiato thanks you for your time and calls in 2 eagle warriors to escort you out of the palace. If you're not mistaken, he's chuckling quietly in disbelief as you leave. Well, let's visit the market here. Tenochtitlan's market. The marketplace is found in Tlatelolco, which turns out to be a sister city that lies right next to Tenochtitlan, on the northern part of the island. Its market is enormous, perhaps twice the size of the city of Seville, and brimming with food and trinkets. The merchants are friendly and subservient, but as the city is very rich, their prices are fairly steep. Let's browse the artisans' stalls. Most of the items on sale in the market are everyday objects of little use to you. However, after trawling through useless junk for the longest time, you manage to locate the few scattered stalls where artisans from outside the city are peddling supplies for trappers and warriors. Spike traps and net traps are both on sale for 400 valuables apiece. Let's trade. This merchant has preposterous prices. They have a high supply of everything and a very high supply of valuables. Well, I think we're okay. That is very expensive. We don't need to trade for anything. As you navigate the narrow streets of the sprawling market, an Aztec man steps into your path. He is dressed in fine clothes, with an ostentatious hat and much jewelry adorning his upper body. He speaks slowly, picking his words carefully, evidently with a broad and precise vocabulary which seems to brush off on your interpreter. Child of the sun, I am honored to be in your presence. I am Mutlaw. I've been observing you for some time, and it is clear that you have an interest in good business. What is it to you? The path that took you to this great city, did it not also take you through the city of Texcoco to the north? I am not sure. Have we been to Texcoco? I can always lie. I've been to Texcoco. I have recently had the misfortune to deal with the commander of the warriors defending Texcoco. He is a most stubborn and entitled eagle warrior by the name of Coyotl. This man has made some utterly unreasonable demands of my associates, and lately he has had the audacity to issue threats should we fail to yield to his demands. How does this involve me? I lack the necessary weight to dissuade Coyotl from applying further pressure to me and my associates here in Tenochtitlan. My hope is that you, or anyone in your group, will take Coyotl out of the picture and bring his shield to me as proof. I am in possession of a large amount of valuable metals that I might surrender to you, out of gratitude for your assistance. Will he not simply be replaced? I think Coyotl sounds familiar. I think we've met him. My contacts in Texcoco tell me that Coyotl's warriors are growing tired of his selfish crusade. His most loyal subordinates will undoubtedly back him up if he is attacked, but most of his force will be relieved to get rid of him. They will not continue to pursue his goals when he is gone. What are his demands? Matlal musters a tragic smile. That we deliver 70 sacks of corn and seeds to him. His demands grow more insistent with every week that goes by, but we cannot simply give away our goods. We All have debts to repay. Who are these associates of yours? Like myself, they are only humble merchants trying to make a living in this great empire. Is Texcoco another city-state? Mutlaw clears his throat. Texcoco is the capital of the Akalhua people. They are our allies in the Triple Alliance. The city is regarded as a cultural center of our great empire, and Coyotl has been stationed there with his warriors to help protect the city from outside foes. I'll find Coyotl and deal with him. The merchant bows his head gratefully. Return to me when the matter is resolved, and you will be richly rewarded. Okay. So we've got the Tenochtitlan temples. The temples of Tenochtitlan aren't entirely pleased to welcome you. You're not allowed to pass beyond the entrance to the temple, but their high priest, Momozot, that's screwing me up. Momoztli. Yeah, there we go. Meets you outside to do business. It's well known that the Aztec religion is mostly based around human sacrifice, and you can hear screams of anguish emanate from the inner halls of the temple. Sweet, I could sacrifice a follower! Talk to the high priest. Momoztli is a tall and thin man in his 30s with a persistent cruel glint in his eyes. Before you're even all the way through your introductions, he pulls you and your translator aside to talk in private. By now it should be clear to you that I am an influential man in this city. A favor owed by me is a significant advantage to anybody here. Judging by his outfit and the way his slaves and subordinates act around him, there is no question that this is the case. Likewise, it is clear to anyone but the greatest, most oblivious fool that you and your people are a force to be reckoned with. Now, permit me to ask you this question. How familiar are you with the area around the city? I know it quite well. Momoztli seems pleased. Then you may be aware of a band of women that roam the jungles to the southwest of the city, led by a woman named Kitlali. Are you familiar with these people? I'm afraid I have not encountered such a group. No matter. All you must understand is that our history with Kitlali and her band of revolutionaries is dark and troubled. It would be in our best interest if Kitlali were to be removed from our lands. Momoztli puts quite a bit of stress on our, and it's clear that he speaks for the higher castes of Tenochtitlan. I will see what I can do about this. The high priest's face displays a peculiar smile, mixing malevolence and gratitude in a way you had previously never imagined to be possible. Return to me with Kitlali's talisman when you've executed a solution. Her fate is all I care about. Her sisters would be no affront to us without their most notorious war chief. As Momoztli retreats back into his temple, you get a feeling that he has something altogether more personal at stake than the reputation of Tenochtitlan. Okay. Well, let's take a look at our current quests. So we still have Protect the Envoy. We've got Coatitlan's Tribute, which I think I'll do first. I've got Silence Coyotl and Kill Kitlali. I think it's safe to say that I am not going to necessarily do all of these. I may fail some of these intentionally. How are we doing on items? I got 124 medicine. I might want to go get some of that back at our fortress. Let's take a look at our map. Oh, there's Texcoco. Okay. There's House. Aztec's Farm. Okay. Well, let's go to this house first. That's new. The Spotted Curse. Traveling through the outskirts of the city of Tenochtitlan, you come across a small square with a basin in the center. The square is crowded with people going about their business, but you quickly notice the 24 people lying around the basin, some wearing bandages, others coughing and looking pale and sick. At the opposite end of the square, you see a curious-looking Aztec, his face and body scarred like nothing you've ever seen before, tending to a patient. Let's approach the scarred man. As you come closer, it's almost as if his scars make up a pattern. but you can't quite discern what they're supposed to resemble. As he finishes tending to his patient, he looks up at you and smiles. Wiping his hands, he comes towards you and introduces himself as Nahuatl. Your translator says his name is Potli. Oh, and introduces himself in Nahuatl. Your translator says his name is Potli, and explains that he's a doctor and shaman in this part of the city. With grand gestures and a warm and genuine enthusiasm, Potli continues to speak. The stars racing across the sky carried bad omens, and you seem like the sort that could cause all sorts of trouble. I do not believe in such things. We bend our fates by the strength of our hands. Out of my way, heathen! I'm sorry, I have business elsewhere now. What omens? A year ago, as I mentioned, a star raced brightly across the sky. It is considered a very bad omen. I believe that it merely becomes what we make of it. I saw it as a sign of something new, a great change. For many moons now, I've waited for that change, to shake loose these tiresome old ailments. Potli gestures towards the patients around the plaza. What's wrong with them? The same as always. Fever, infections, sore bones, boring. Never anything exciting. I heard a rumor where an entire village carried spots on their skin, but I've not been able to go there. It sounds fascinating, though. Why can't I get some of that my way? Let's tell him about Conquistador. You tell him about the village full of starving people, with blisters all over their bodies, that you suspect to be smallpox. Potli seems very intrigued, and his smile grows as you describe the village filled with smallpox. As you finish, he's quick to make a request. Should your path take you there again, would you be willing to bring back a patient? Your men look a little surprised at his request, and a few of them protest having to travel with a diseased native. Barreto leans in to whisper in your ear. Senor, I do not think that this is a good idea. God only knows what a person with an infectious disease might do to such a populous civilization as this. Let's graciously decline it, because I agree. My adventurous followers have lost morale. You explain that pressing matters would keep you from going back there, and that you won't be able to help him this time. Potli's teeth disappear behind his lips, which are still curled in a smile, and he steps out of your way. He's clearly a little disappointed, but still thanks you for your time. Well, it looks like we can go back. Okay, I changed my mind about your request. Potli lights up and is just about to hug you, but thinks better of it when he remembers his hands are covered in blood. Instead, he nods in sincere acknowledgement and thanks you. Okay, well, unfortunately, that cost us some morale on our followers. 10, 10, 10, 9, 9, 10, 10, 8, 9, 9, 9. 8, 8. Well, shucks. Well, that's disappointing. Oh, actually, here, have a couple more pieces of equipment. Well, I guess we'll head up to Conquistador next, although I might want to go to Texcoco first. I'll think about it. But I will think about it off camera, and in the next episode, I will have a decision. See you then, everyone.